Hi guys, I'm Shandor, welcome to my cinema. Today I'm going back to the works of Alfred Hitchcock and I'm about to watch his 1954 movie Dial M for Murder. What an intriguing title. Now, I know that the amazing, marvelous Grace Kelly stars in this movie, and also as far as I know, much of this movie takes place in a very confined space, so I'm very curious as to how this movie is going to turn out. I'm sick as a dog, but that's not going to prevent me from enjoying the heck out of this movie, most likely. So here comes Dial M for Murder. 3, 2, 1. Oh, this was adapted from a theater play apparently. Okay. Makes sense. If it does take place in a confined space. Okay. Starts with a guy kissing Grace Kelly. How dare he? Queen Mary arrives today. Among the passengers aboard the Queen Mary arriving in Southampton today is the American Mr. Ryder Mark Halliday. Okay.
I ought to explain something.
Yes, I've been waiting for that.
I haven't told him anything about us.
That's not surprising. It's a tough thing to do.
When you telephoned this morning, I simply said you wrote crime stories and I'd met you once when you were here before.
That has a pretty guilty ring to it. I'd never use it in one of my stories.
He's a completely different person to the one I used to tell you about.
Really? When did all this happen?
That night I came to say goodbye. Do you remember the letters you wrote to me?
Yes, I remember.
After I read them, I burned them. I thought it best. All except one.
What about it?
It was stolen.
Interesting. So she got blackmailed. Interesting. And also, apparently she's in a love triangle. That's always very healthy. Not. The music is bittersweet and ominous at the same time. I like it.
Why didn't you burn that letter, too?
That's a good question. This is gonna be interesting. So Grace Kelly's husband is going to come.
There you are. We thought you were never coming. What have you been up to?
He's arrived.
Sorry, Dom, but the boss blew in just as I was leaving.
Tony, this is Mark Halliday.
Hello,
Tony,
Mark.
hello.
I'm terribly sorry to be so late.
Darling, did you reserve a table?
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Well, come on then, get
Oh,
your
darling, a
coats
slight
on.
alteration in plans.
Oh, now don't say you can't go.
I'm afraid so. Old man Burgess is flying to Brussels on Sunday, and I have to get my monthly report in by tomorrow.
Well, could you join us after the theater? We might go somewhere.
Why don't you give me a ring in intermission? If I'm inspired, I might make it.
So long, darling.
Enjoy yourself.
So long, Tony.
Good night.
It seems like her husband knows something. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hello, Hampstead 7899. Could I speak to Captain Lesgett, please? Oh, good evening. You don't know me. My name is Fisher. I understand you have a car for sale. I say, you couldn't come round to my flat tonight. Maida Vale. I'd call on you, only I've twisted my knee rather badly. Well, we'll see what a couple of drinks can do. Goodbye.
This guy is shady. Obviously did not twist his knee and things like that. Okay, I'm already intrigued. Something is not right. Something is very much not right.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes, Captain Lesgett?
Yes.
Won't you come in?
Thank you.
You're not Lesgett. Swan. C.J. Swan. Always at C.A.
C.A. Well, you've got a better memory than I have. I think I must have seen you somewhere since we left Cambridge.
Ever been to Wimbledon?
That's it. Wendis. What's all this about Fisher?
What's all this about Lesgett? I remember at college you always used to smoke rather expensive cigars. Wait a minute, I think I have a picture of you here somewhere. Yes.
This is getting weirder and weirder.
Yes, here's one. Taken at a reunion dinner. There you are, with the biggest cigar in the business.
Well, that's the first and last reunion I ever went to. What a murderous thug I look.
Yes, you do, rather.
Ah!
What are you doing nowadays?
I deal in property. I say, I don't follow tennis very closely. Do you still play?
No, I've given up tennis, or rather tennis gave me up.
What are you doing now?
I sell sports equipment. Not very lucrative, but it gives me plenty of spare time.
I'm almost resigned to living on what I can earn.
Well, you can always marry for money.
Yes, I suppose some people make a business out of that.
That's a very interesting conversation.
A tennis star.
Yes, but you've given up tennis. She hasn't left you.
She nearly did. But after we were married, I played in the various championships and took Margot with me. She didn't like it much, and when we got back...
Oh, interesting framing. See the lamp dividing them. Hmm. Uh-huh. I knew he knew. Wow. How was that?
You know, it's funny to think that just a year ago, I sat in that Knightsbridge pub actually planning to murder her. Wow. And I might have done it if I hadn't seen something that changed my mind.
Well, what did you see?
I saw you.
What? This is just getting more and more interesting.
Mind you, at college, we'd all said that old Swan would end up in jail. That cash box, I suppose.
Well, what about it?
Oh, my dear fellow, everybody knew you took that money. Poor old Alfred.
Hmm. Fantastically written dialogues. Jesus.
I need an alibi. A very good one. Then I saw you.
What is he gonna
I
do?
wondered what happened to people when they came out of prison. People like you, I mean. Can they get jobs? Do
He's
old
screening
friends
things.
rally around? Suppose they'd never had any friends. I became so curious to know that I followed you. I followed you home that night. I was hoping that sooner or later I might catch you at something and be able to,
Blackmail me?
influence you. In fact, there were times when I felt that you almost belonged to me.
The guy is psychotic.
Interesting.
You used to go to the dog racing Mondays and Thursdays. I even took it up myself, just to be near you. I suppose you thought you were growing that handsome moustache to please her. Poor Miss Wallace.
This is all very interesting. Do go on.
July, August, September.
I'm speechless, people. This is fantastic.
Mrs. Van Dorn asked me to sell it for her.
I know. I called her up just before you arrived here. She only wanted 800.
Mm-hmm. The underlying tension in this scene, guys, is just absolutely incredible.
I should simply tell them that you're trying to blackmail me
Into?
murdering your wife.
Exactly.
Suppose I tell them how you followed her to that studio in Chelsea and watched them cooking spaghetti and all that rubbish. Wouldn't that ring a bell?
Oh, it certainly would. They'd assume you followed her there yourself.
Me? Why should I?
Why should you steal her handbag? Why should you write her all those blackmail notes? When I refused, you mentioned something about a letter belonging to my wife. As far as I could make out, you're trying to sell it to me. I gave you what money I had, and you gave me the letter. It has your fingerprints on it, remember?
This is one tricky guy.
£1,000 in cash.
For a murder?
For a few minutes' work, that's all it is. And no risk, I guarantee.
Hmm.
That ought to appeal to you. You've been skating on pretty thin ice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You ought to know. It was in all the papers. Middle-aged woman found dead due to an overdose of something.
Whoa.
Apparently she'd been taking the stuff for quite some time, and nobody knows where she got it. But we know, don't we? Poor Miss Wallace.
What the? This is freaking dark.
That's £1,000.
I love this. I love this already.
As soon as you've delivered the goods, I shall mail you the checkroom ticket and the key to the case. You can take this £100 on account.
Wow. This is one of the most intriguing opening scenes I have ever seen, guys. This is absolutely incredible. I'm just glued to the screen. Nice shot. Very nice shot. Hmm.
I shall then talk to my boss as if nothing had happened and return to the party.
This is absolutely crazy.
When you realized you'd actually killed her, you panicked, bolted through the garden, and left the loot behind you.
This is crazy. Crazy.
I'm supposed to have come in through these windows. Suppose they'd been locked.
It wouldn't matter. You see, she often takes a walk around the garden before she goes to bed, and she usually forgets to lock up when she gets back.
Guys, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to comment on this movie because I'm just glued. I'm mesmerized.
By the way, Maureen called up just after you left and wants us for dinner on Wednesday.
How awesome the lighting is here. How awesome everything is here. Jesus Christ. This is just masterfully done, you know? Very, very heavily dialogue driven, but each and every sentence is just like, what? What? What the heck? What? How? What? Incredible. Everything is just incredible. They don't need to say a word. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. This is fascinating. This is just fascinating stuff right here. I mean, what a masterpiece of a scene this was. In every aspect, you know, filming, delivery, dialogues. Holy crap.
And I think I could plan one better than most people, but I doubt if I could carry it out.
Oh? Why not?
Well, because in stories, things usually turn out the way the author wants them to, and in real life, they don't. Always.
That's gonna be interesting to see.
If my murders would be something like my bridge, I'd make some stupid mistake and never realize till I found everybody was looking at me.
Yes, I thought I might go to a movie or something.
Well, aren't you going to listen to the radio? Saturday Night Theater?
Oh, no, it's a thriller. I don't like thrillers when I'm alone.
Oh ho.
I see.
Well, in any case, I'll be back before you so I can let you in.
But we won't be back until after midnight. You may be asleep by then.
You can always put your key under the proverbial mat.
Oh, it's all right. Here it is. It was in my glove all the time.
Oh.
Well, that settles that.
Well, I better call the Grand and tell him we're not coming.
Oh, Tony, please, let's not be childish about this. All right, I'll do your old press clippings.
You don't have to if you don't want to, you know.
But I do want.
Master manipulator.
You need some scissors.
Oh, they're in my mending basket.
I'm pretty sure something's not gonna go according to plan. And that's gonna be the very interesting part.
Hey, you leave my bag alone. How much do you need anyway?
Well, let's see how much you've got.
You put that.
You owe me 10 bob anyway.
What's he doing?
I paid that package you sent to Peggy. That comes out of housekeeping.
Well, let me give it to you. Then
Oh, he took the key.
I don't want to be disturbed.
We should be as quiet as mice. Nice.
Night.
Oh, he's not putting the key. under the carpet.
Margot? You know, it's quite possible
He does.
that Burgess might call. Would you tell him
He
if it's
does.
Brendan? It might be rather important.
What's the number?
It's in the book.
All right.
Okay, I've never seen a bad Hitchcock movie, ever. But guys, this is... Wow. I mean, last time I watched Notorious, and I was absolutely blown away by that movie, but this one might be even better. For me. This is just fascinating. I'm literally holding my breath, you know? It's like, what? The tension is just incredible. The music is backing it up. Beautiful lit scene. Oh. Their watches do not match, right?
Excuse me a moment. Do any of you fellas at the right time?
Yes, I have 7 minutes past 11. I make it only just after 11.
Well, my watch has stopped. I must have overwound it.
Well-
I said,
Excuse me, Omar. I have to call my boss.
agricultural machinery.
His watch had stopped. I'm smiling because I know that his plan is not gonna work out.
Hello.
Oh my god, the camera work. Whoa!
Hello.
Jesus! It is happening! It is actually happening! I didn't think this was gonna actually happen. Oh, that's brutal. Whoa. What the? Whoa!
Margot?
What's that?
Darling, it's me. Now, darling, pull yourself together. What is it?
A man attacked me, tried to strangle me.
Did he get away?
No, he's dead.
Now, listen very carefully.
I'm sorry. I'm at a loss for words. Okay? This might be one of the greatest movies. Actually, this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I can tell you that much right now. And I guess there's a lot more of interesting things to come in this movie, but this is just holy crap. This is super tense, incredibly well written, incredibly well acted, fantastically filmed, fantastically lit. Grace Kelly is gorgeous as always. And she's fantastic. Ah, so he's looking for the key. Okay, that makes sense.
Tony,
Yes.
why did you phone me?
Right?
I'm sorry, darling. I'll tell you about that later. I just thought of something. You said he used a stocking?
I think it was a stocking or a scarf, isn't it there?
No, but I expect they'll find it. Now you go on to bed.
That was a really question. Why did you call me? This is interesting. But now it has his fingerprints. Why did he do that? What is he doing? Oh, the letter. Tricky bastard. Oops. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Intermission! Hey, How old school? We got a pee break, guys.
Good morning, madam.
Oh, good morning.
Mrs. Winders?
Yes,
I'm a police officer. May I come in?
of course.
I'm guessing he's
Excuse
come
me,
here
I'll
to
just
investigate.
tell my husband you're here.
Oh, thank you.
And by curious coincidence, I was actually phoning my wife when she was attacked.
Yes, I gather. Can you tell me exactly what time it was, sir?
No, I'm afraid I can't. I do remember my watch had stopped.
Is this him?
Yes. You don't recognize him?
No, I never saw him.
But didn't you even catch a glimpse of his face?
No, you see, he attacked me from behind, and it was dark. I hardly saw him at all.
How about you, sir? Had you ever seen him before?
No?
That's a lie.
No? At least,
Yes.
it's very like someone I was at college with. But the moustache makes quite a difference.
Oh, what was his name?
Oh, I don't know. It must be 20 years since I left.
Was it Lesgett?
No.
Yes.
Wilson?
No.
Swan?
Swan.
Did you know him well?
No, he was senior to me.
Have you met him since then?
No.
Yes.
At least, come to think of it, I did see him quite recently, but not to speak to.
Oh, when was that?
Oh, about 6 months ago at a railway station, Victoria, I think.
I distinctly remember feeling for the scissors.
Where were those scissors usually kept?
In that mending basket. I'd forgotten to put them away.
Which saved her life.
What makes you think he came from behind those curtains?
Where else could he have been?
The curtains were drawn, I suppose.
Yes, they were.
Did you draw them yourself?
No, Inspector. I drew them just before I went out.
Mrs. Winders, why didn't you call the police immediately this happened?
Right. Oh, what an awesome shot.
I was trying to get through to the police when I discovered my husband was on the line. I naturally thought that he would call the police from the hotel before he came here.
As a matter of fact, we're quite certain that he came in by this door.
But it was locked.
Was it?
Margot, did you open that door at all after we'd gone?
No,
Well, how many keys are there to this door, sir?
only two. Mine was in my handbag, and you had yours with you.
What makes you think he came in this way?
His shoes.
His shoes.
Oh.
The ground was soaking wet last night.
Oh.
Come in by the garden, he'd have left mud all over the carpet.
Whoa.
As it is, he didn't leave any marks at all because he wiped his shoes on the front door mat. Small tar stain on the mat, and some of the fiber show that as well. No, there's no question about it.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
This guy's in trouble. I love it.
Got it.
He could have had your key copied, and he could have used it to open the door.
But?
But of course he didn't.
Oh, how do you know?
Why not?
Because if he had, the key would still have been on him when he died.
True.
No key was found when we went through his pockets.
Very true.
Well, we seem to be back just where we started, don't we?
Well, not quite.
Ah,
Well, then how did he get in?
fascinating.
We'd better get all this down on paper.
This is fascinating stuff.
Did you phone Margot before or after you phoned your boss?
Tony, I know what I wanted to ask you. Why did you telephone me last night?
Now, just one moment, before I lose the thread. How much does he know about you and Mrs. Winders?
What? Wow.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you wrote a letter to Mrs. Winders from New York. It was found in the dead man's inside pocket.
Where's Tony?
He's just gone into the garden.
Mrs. Winders, when you lost your handbag, did you lose a letter as well?
Yes. Which is true. Yeah.
Reel of that silk in your mending basket.
Tony, there was a pair of stockings here.
And don't laugh. They're suggesting that Margot killed him intentionally.
I wouldn't say that if I were you, sir.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Yes, it is funny, isn't it?
Guys,
Roger, could you come around at once? Maidavale Police Station?
this is too good. Guys, I think I'm pretty much useless with this video because I'm just enjoying this way too much, you know? I really can't say anything smart. Not that I ever do. What? Oh, the lighting. It's very, very similar to a scene in Vertigo. Very interesting.
Is that you be taken to the place from whence you came, from thence to a place of lawful execution.
What? I hope she's just dreaming. I guess she wasn't. So basically Tony got what he wanted, sort of. That would be very, very sad, actually.
I've been trying to figure out something for weeks just in case it came to this.
Are they gonna execute her
It's our
tomorrow?
only chance.
Let's have it.
Margot was convicted because nobody believed her story. The prosecution made out she was telling one lie after another, and the jury believed him. My letter, her stocking, and the fact that because no key was found on Swan, she must have let him in herself.
Don't try and tell me.
Wait a minute, Tony. Now, hear me out. This is where you come in. Now, you've got to go to the police and tell them some story. Now, let's take those points one by one. Margot says she never let Swan in through this door.
Which is true.
Okay. He must have opened it somehow. Suppose you tell the police that you left your key out here somewhere. Swan could have let himself in.
That's exactly what happened.
How do you know it was there?
You told him. You can tell any story you like about him now. You can even say that, well, you two met somewhere and you planned this whole thing together.
That's exactly what happened.
You suggesting I arranged for Swan to come here that night to blackmail her?
No. To kill her. You tell them that you stole her handbag yourself.
Why should I do that?
Because you wanted to read my letter. And when you had read it, you got mad and decided to teach her a lesson.
But your letter was found in his pocket.
Where'd you put it there?
When?
It's sometime before the police arrived.
Wow, the guy is basically solving the whole case.
And you could
That's
also
crazy. Crazy.
planted the stockings at the same time.
But Mark, why should I want anyone to kill Margot?
Had Margot made a will?
Yes, I believe she had.
Who was the beneficiary?
Why, I am, I suppose.
There's your reason, Tony.
And I was wondering if you'd sold anything recently for cash.
Why?
Has he?
Well, my sergeant happened to be making inquiries at Wales's garage the other day, and it appears that you settled an account there recently for,
Oh, his posture. He's embarrassed. Oh. Where did he got that? Where did he get that? Hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, you were saying?
What's his
I
point?
was, is that?
Oh, yes, it's about that money. Yes, I'd be grateful if you'd tell me where you got it. After all,
It's right there. This is just It's full of money. So Mark is gonna find it out. Yeah. Mark has figured it out. Wow, guys, this movie, this is amazing.
And I wrote those.
It is. The look on his face. He's like, dude, you're actually telling the truth, I know.
Inspector Williams, look at this. The last check he wrote was on the 26th of March. That's the day before this all happened. I tell you, he's been living off it ever since. Mrs. Banks. Sorry.
They're all too excited. I love how everything gets reincorporated into this movie.
Practically every week. 35 pounds, 40, 45 pounds, 50.
The look on his face.
Whenever I needed money, I took it out and left it in some other check room. I knew if you found it, you wouldn't stand a chance. You see, she was just about to give it to him when she killed him instead.
The look on the inspector's face. It's like, nope, nope. There's an invisible noose around this guy's neck right now, which is something I really enjoy. Wow. You know, I expected this movie to be good, but seriously, I'm enjoying every freaking second of this. You know? There wasn't a dull moment in this movie so far. This is a joy. Ah, so he has the key now. Yeah, he's definitely suspecting Tony. For sure.
Hubbard, look, O'Brien. I've got back in again. Start the ball rolling.
Whoa, they had a plan.
Now, what are you up to? What's the idea?
What are you doing here?
Never mind about that.
I was wondering why you didn't come
You've
out.
got to get out of here, quick.
Listen, Inspector.
Shut up.
Huh?
If you want to save Mrs. Windis, keep quiet and let me handle this.
How are you possibly going to...
Huh? Grace Kelly's out? How's that even possible?
Where's Tony?
He's gone out.
When will he be back?
We're not sure. Was that you who rang just now?
Yes. Why didn't you let me in?
You've got a key. Why didn't you use it?
I did, but it didn't fit the lock.
Take this handbag back to the police station and get that car out of the way.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute, you clot. You can't walk down the street like that. You'll be arrested. Here, put it in this.
Margot, how did you get here?
I don't know. About an hour ago, the warden came to see me and just said I was to be taken home.
What I've got to tell you may come as a shock.
Yes?
We strongly suspect that your husband had planned to murder you.
Yep.
Tony arranged for Swan to come here that night and kill you.
How long have you known this?
Did you suspect it yourself?
No, never.
We discovered that your husband had been spending a large number of pound notes all over the place, so it...
Ah. But how?
Well, Mr. Halliday, have you got it?
I don't think so. Where's Mrs. Wendis' key?
Underneath the carpet.
just half an hour to find it. That was his little mistake.
Whoa.
Because Swan had done exactly as you suggested.
He did!
He unlocked the door, then returned the key before he came in.
And it's been out there ever since. Wenders took out of Swan's pocket and returned to her handbag was...
Swan's own latchkey.
Whoa.
All right, Mark?
Yes, I'm all right.
Quiet now, you two.
This movie is just too good. Too good. Can get in. It's incredible, you know, how Hitchcock was able to utilize this very, very tiny space throughout this whole movie, you know? You don't even realize, basically, that the whole movie is taking place in this house, you know?
He stopped again. He's turning round.
Oh, right.
He's staring at the key. Of course, that's Swan's key, isn't it? Now he's got it. He's coming back fast. He's remembered.
Yep. He's gonna reach under the carpet, isn't he? Yes, he is. You jerk. And now you're caught. I busted.
As you said, Mark, it might work out on paper, but congratulations, Inspector. I suppose you're still on duty, Inspector.
So elegant. Is this the end of the movie? Yes, it is. Well, guys, this was Dial M for Murder. Okay, I'm gonna be really short and sweet. I think this video might be my most boring one because I just really can't say anything. I don't feel like I was able to say anything during the runtime of this movie, you know, because I was just glued to the screen all the time. This is one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. Previously, I watched Notorious by Hitchcock on his channel, and I think I mentioned that most likely I enjoyed that movie of his the most so far. This movie just knocked Notorious down from the #1 spot, for sure. And I mean, come on, I've seen Vertigo on this channel, I've seen Rear Window, obviously Notorious, I think... Oh, To Catch a Thief, yeah. I've also watched To Catch a Thief, but yeah, this is probably the best out of all of those, and that says something. I mean, come on, what an amazing movie this is, you know? You don't even realize that the whole movie is taking place during one confined space, because the dialogues and the performances and the tension and the suspense is just so good. You don't really need anything else, you know? Oh, guys, you know, this is a dialogue-driven movie, and you don't really get that nowadays, do you? You know, it's not about spectacle, it's about the dialogues carrying the story, and, you know, the character interactions also moving the story forward. I mean, right from the very beginning, this movie just glued me to the screen, and it didn't let me go. You know, I was in awe watching this movie, the directing, the performances. Seriously, what an incredible movie it is. I'm at a loss for words, so sorry, I really can't say anything constructive or smart. This is just a fantastic movie, one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. This is a masterpiece, I think. Guys, this was incredible. This was an amazing experience. Thank you so much for watching this movie together with me. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. And see you next time at the cinema. I'm still speechless. Bye.